All right, today we're jumping into a pretty intense what if scenario, one that could literally change the entire world overnight. So let's dive right in. So, what if just one attack could push the entire Middle East right to the edge of a massive war? I mean, think about that. A single move that sparks a firestorm, sucks in global superpowers, and brings us all to the brink. That's exactly what we're looking at here. February 28th, 2026. This is the day everything changed. Before this, tensions had been simmering for years. Everyone was on edge. But after this date, the world was suddenly thrown into a totally new and honestly terrifying reality. Okay, so what kicked this whole thing off? Let's go back to the very beginning. The first strike. So the first move, wow, it was big. It was decisive. We're talking about years of tension, right? Diplomacy had failed over Iran's nuclear program. So the US and Israel decide to launch this massive, coordinated wave of airstrikes. And that move, well, it started a chain reaction that nobody could stop. And look at the scale of this thing. This was no small skirmish. Not at all. They went for the jugular, targeting the very heart of Iran's military and political power. We're talking military bases, missile systems, even leadership compounds. And not just anywhere, but in major cities like Tehran, Isfahan, and Qom. The scope was just immense. And here's a little detail for you. Both countries gave their operations these really powerful code names. Israel called it Operation Lion's Roar. The US went with Operation Epic Fury. Two different names, but one single devastating goal. So what was the official reason for all this? Well, the stated goal was pretty clear. First, take out Iran's missile capabilities. Second, put a stop to its nuclear program for good. The idea was to eliminate what they saw as a major threat to the whole region. But here's where things take a massive, unexpected turn. In the middle of all that chaos, something happens that nobody, and I mean nobody, saw coming. And it was about to pour gasoline on the fire. Yeah, the airstrikes were just the start. It was one very specific event that completely changed the game, escalating this from a regional fight into a full-blown global crisis. Right in the middle of the bombing in Tehran, the unthinkable happens. Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, is killed in an airstrike. Now, this isn't just a political leader dying. This is like cutting the head off the government. The news just exploded across the world. And to really get how huge this is, you gotta understand what the supreme leader is. He's not just a president or a prime minister. He is the final word on everything, politically and religiously. So his death didn't just leave a power vacuum. It was more like a black hole opened up right at the center of the Iranian state. So their leader is gone, their military is taking a beating. You'd think maybe they'd fold, right? Nope. Iran's response wasn't surrender. It was pure fury, and it came fast. They hit back with a 1-2 punch. First, they launched hundreds of drones, just swarms of them. Then they followed up with ballistic missiles. They were making it crystal clear they could still fight back, and fight back hard. And there was no question who they were aiming at. They went straight for Israel and for major U.S. military bases all over the region. We're talking Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar. Suddenly, this wasn't just a conflict contained in Iran. It was spreading fast. You can just imagine the chaos, right? All of a sudden, you've got missiles streaking across the Persian Gulf. Air defense systems are lighting up the skies over several different countries. And everyone is thinking the same thing. This is spiraling out of control into a massive regional war. So while all this fighting is getting worse, something else is happening. The economic fallout starts to hit. And at that point, the entire world suddenly realizes they've got skin in this game too. And that's when Iran played its ace, their biggest economic weapon. They threatened to block the Strait of Hormuz, a move that would basically hold the entire global economy hostage. So why is that such a huge deal? Well, get this. A whopping 20% of the entire world's oil flows through that one tiny strait. It's a critical choke point. Closing it wouldn't just be a problem, it would be a global economic catastrophe. And they didn't even have to do it. Just the threat of closing the strait was enough. Global energy markets went into a panic. Oil prices shot through the roof. And just like that, a war thousands of miles away was hitting people right in their wallets, all over the planet. Which brings us to where things stand now. The war is still unfolding. What began as a series of airstrikes is now completely reshaping the balance of power in the Middle East. And the effects of this? We'll be feeling them for decades to come. So that's the big question we're all left with, isn't it? Can this fire be contained? Or is this just the beginning of something much, much bigger? A new global conflict? Right now, the whole world is holding its breath, waiting to find out.